Women hit with hard times are begging men to help them. So many women told men that they did not want them and that they did not need them. Now, hard times have arrived. Poor health has arrived. And modern women are looking for good men to rescue them in their hard times. Today's video comes from the China Unvarnished channel. Their channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go check them out and support them. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of women now looking to men to help them and save them from hard times. Also, go and follow us on Rumble. Things are not going so great on this channel, so follow us on Rumble so that you will never miss another video from us ever again, regardless of what happens here on this platform. Our Rumble is linked in the description of the video. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video after a message from Angry's Crypto Academy. So you guys know things are not going well in Western society. I kept on telling you that modern women were going to turn around and say, men, help us. We chose the bear, but now we need you. And men are going to whisper no. TTCs are coming. Tyrone 10 cities. It's not a game. It's just reality. The financial system is on the brink. ATMs will freeze. Banks will close their doors. They'll chain the doors. And your assets are at serious risk. Discover how to protect your wealth with cryptocurrency. At Angry's Crypto Academy, you'll master the skills to buy, sell, trade, and invest in the most secure coins, plus uncover 4 coins that virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. Click the link in the video description below to find out what these coins are and join the academy today. And now let's go ahead and jump right into the video.
And abandoned her husband and daughter for a better life, and never contacted them during that time. Unexpectedly, 16 years later, she was diagnosed with cancer and immediately returned to her ex-husband's home, begging her daughter, whom she had abandoned for 16 years, to take care of her in her old age.
我不让你进去，你都后来说什么意思？
但是我人老了肯定还有一个看着，是不是？
不是你们要上什么地方才能进？
So I'm going to read a little bit of it to you because usually the narrator comes on. The girl is saying she left me and my dad for 16 years. During those 16 years, even if she came once a year, once every 2 years, or even every 3 years, that would have been fine. So this woman abandoned her husband, also abandoned her child for 16 years. And now she's been diagnosed with CANCER, and she's looking for that. She's begging them to help her because she has no one else. So she went to the streets. She was hanging out there with Hung Low. And now when times have gotten hard, times are tough, she can't work anymore. She's facing extraordinary medical bills and she might not make it. She then runs home looking for a man, for her husband, to rescue her and take care of her and nurse her to health. All right. She did not even check in once every couple of years, not even once a year, twice a year, even every 3 years. This woman was in the streets for 16 years. And now, because, she very well may meet her maker, she just like the narcissistic baby boomers, they want someone else to come and rescue them. And they start talking about kindness. Okay. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this is why I say that we should, as men, it's important to walk away. That the whole kindness garbage. They say stupid stuff like don't focus on the riches of earth. Focus on the riches of heaven. You will be rewarded in heaven. This is the same garbage that the baby boomers fed us as they lived their extravagant lives. I've already told you, the baby boomers are wealthier than any generation of people, any group of people in the history of the world. The only people that might have slightly edged them out are ancient rulers. And even then, in terms of dollar cash, yeah, the boomers are the wealthiest generation in the history of the world. They also have the highest life expectancy of any generation to ever live by far in the history of humanity in 200,000 years. These are facts, okay? So you have to understand, modern women fell into the exact same trap. They went down this exact same path, and now they're basically facing accountability, but they're broke, and they're trying to turn to men and force men to pick up the slack for them, but it's not going to happen this time. It's just not happening.
看我一回来，那也行，这是什么意思？我小那会儿，我需要你的时候，你不会。
She says, "What's the meaning of her coming back now? When I was little and needed a mother, she abandoned me."
After being kicked out, the woman called in a mediator to intervene. She had actually been a tragic figure before running away. She had been orphaned as a child, living in a small mountain village. One day, someone told her that they would take her to see the outside world. Her ex-husband was also a hard-working man. Though he wasn't good with words, he was skilled at work. Her new partner was lazy and didn't work, and most importantly, he was addicted to gambling. Now, 16 years later, after being diagnosed with uterine cancer, she thought of her daughters, whom she hadn't seen for 16 years, and wanted them to take care of her. Based on the clues provided by the woman, the mediator tracked down her ex-husband's village. There, the mediator learned that the ex-husband had a pretty good reputation, and the situation he described was somewhat different from what the woman had said. The ex-husband was mild-mannered, honest, hard-working, and not sexist. Ever since his wife ran away, he hadn't remarried, and he hadn't cancelled her household registration either. In an era when men were typically valued more than women, he had raised 2 daughters by himself after his wife ran away. The mediator and others then visited the ex-husband's house. When they met him, they found that he wasn't as volatile and angry as the woman had described. When he learned of the woman's intentions, he said that his elder daughter was already married, and the younger daughter was almost of age. It seemed that the woman was now returning for some other purpose. The younger daughter also distrusted her mother, who had abandoned her when she was too young to remember.
就在外面，好吧？那不管怎么样，介绍你不报，
肯定心有点委屈哦。
是
他只是生了我一场没养我哟，回来了叫我养他。
Later, the mediator secretly spoke to the ex-husband, telling him that the woman had cancer and wouldn't live for long. The woman didn't know the truth herself, the doctor had kept it from her. Upon hearing this, the ex-husband and the daughters felt some sympathy. Thus, they became less resistant and invited her to chat about old times. When the woman saw that her elder daughter was doing well, she directly expressed her real intention. She wanted her daughters to take care of her when she was old.
This is that's exactly how the baby boomers think. That's their ploy, y'all. They're going to want us to come and save them and rescue them when they get old. Guys, they've never taken any responsibility for anything, and modern women grew up with this type of mentality, and now roosters are coming home to crow, and they don't understand that men are not going to bail them out of this situation. Hard times are here. I keep telling y'all, don't mess around. Do not mess around. The financial system is a nightmare right now, okay? The banks are going to chain the doors. The ATMs are going to stop working. Protect your wealth and safeguard your future with crypto. Angry's Crypto Academy will teach you how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in crypto. And will tell you exactly which coins will mint you millionaires and how to spot potential coins to invest in. Don't miss out. The Academy is linked in the description of the video.
我开始了，弟弟啊，只有他不是。
这糖果。
看是这样，我这是一个吗？但是说我人老。
I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. So they say, she says, when I grow old, I should have someone to depend on. When our children were this small, you abandoned us. I raised them to this age, and now you have to face to come back. So that's what the husband is saying. He's saying that he deserves to have someone to depend on when he gets old, but the mother abandoned her children. She abandoned her children when they were still young, and he raised them all by himself. And now she has the nerve to come back, and she sees that the eldest daughter, is doing well, and now she wants the eldest daughter to take care of her. It turns out that she actually has CANCER, and it sounds like a lot of the story that she claims that she was a victim is fabricated, as after the investigators went in and evaluated the situation, they discovered that this is a man who has a very good reputation. He worked very hard to raise his children. The husband that she ran away on, and he's and you know it doesn't add up. Her reputation, on the other hand, is extremely poor, and she's not even aware of it. But evidently, the doctors have not told her that her condition is terminal. and she does not have a lot of time left. It does make a lot of sense because a number of years ago, I actually had a family member, and I went to visit him in the hospital, and he was in really bad shape. And he said that the doctor said they didn't know what was wrong with him, but I believe the issue was actually his LIVER, and he may have also had CANCER. And they will lie to you if they know that you're going to pass away. Like sometimes they know exactly what's wrong. And you don't have a lot of time left. They're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you what's wrong because they know you don't have a lot of time left, and you're just going to spend the remaining time that you have panicking and worrying. And I remember when he was passing, how poorly, my own father treated him. It was a family member, and he treated him so poorly. He treated him so my the baby boomers were not good people. They were terrible people, and they were just so greedy, and they took everything their parents left behind, sold off whatever they could. It's crazy. I'm never going to stop talking about what the boomers have done because the boomers need to face some consequences. They have to face some consequences for the crimes that they've committed against other generations, for the crime they committed against my generation, Gen X, and all generations that came after us. I look back, I very much look back kind of at like, the silent generation. And it's so strange because I was raised by a combination of the silent generation and the greatest generation. And it's just weird. It's just absolutely weird because what we were taught as children by the silent generation and the greatest generation is completely counter to to what gen to what the baby boomers were taught. For example, we were taught not to be selfish. We were taught that the world did not revolve around us. We had to learn very quickly that we were not the center of the world. It's a very, very strange thing. But we were also taught, like, the importance of learning how to control your emotions. And, like, for example, Mr. Rogers didn't, believe it or not, say what you want about Mr. Rogers, but Mr. Rogers didn't play around. Mr. Rogers didn't play. We grew up with guys like Mr. Rogers, and it was a whole different ball game. And then you look at how narcissistic the boomers are, and you're like, what went wrong? And I think that in many ways with Gen X, it was an overcorrection. It was an overcorrection. Basically, the boomers were given everything, and Gen X was given almost nothing. We had to scrape and survive for everything. And, if you didn't make it, you didn't make it. And this is why so many Gen Xers are kind of cynical, because they went through so much that they just laugh about it. Some say they don't care, but it's like like a defense mechanism where you have to either stop caring or you just won't survive. Because there's so many Gen Xers that aren't here anymore, and either it's because they control alt deleted or they just didn't make it, because life was hard during that Gen X era. People were like, if you look at a lot of the movies from the 1980s, I was always freaked out. I'm not going to lie. I was always freaked out during the 1980s because the concept of death was just constant. It was embedded in everything. It's like we were told during the Gen X era that we would not make it. We were the lost generation. We were, and it was just all kinds of bad stuff. It was and it was just constant. And then, older Gen Xers, of course, they just didn't give a damn. These people were just chilling. Like people were I shouldn't say it like that, but it's like they just I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to put it. They just kind of rolled with it, like they partied in places like graveyards and like a lot of the movies that we had during the Gen X era, like some of y'all, like I get called out for this. My Girl was a traumatic movie for me. It was one of the most traumatic films I have ever seen in my entire life. And it's like My Girl, listen to me. You have movies where you have people like passing away and getting like, body parts are being removed with a sword, and it's like that stuff is baby stuff. Like that's nothing for Gen X. But it's like movies that just like they build you up and then they tear you down. There's a movie called My Girl. I believe Macaulay Culkin was in it. And bro, his character doesn't make it, bro. He doesn't make it. And it just that movie shredded me to pieces. And a lot of Gen Xers are like, bro, that's nothing. You guys, that's why I'm telling you. That's why I'm telling you about Gen X can be cold. Like they gave their kids so much, but individually they can be cold. My Girl was one of that movie broke my heart. That movie broke my heart. I am never going to stop crying over My Girl. Oh my gosh. If you have not seen My Girl, do not watch My Girl. Don't watch it. Do not watch that movie. Oh my gosh. You could even see by like My Girl too, like she's broken from it. Like she's not even the same. She was never the same again. There was a sequel to My Girl 2. She was never the same. She just like you could see the cynic in her. Like the character, like, you know, you could see the cynic, the cynic in her in Come My Girl too, where she's like, ah, so this is life, huh? Oh well. The boomers messed up society and they messed up their children so bad. I don't know. I have no idea. It's miserable. It's absolutely miserable. But one thing I will continue doing is telling the truth about who they are and telling men to focus on getting their wealth, getting their money up, building out their crypto because that's the only thing. It's basically Christ and guys, Christ and crypto, Christ and crypto. All right, those are the only two things that you should be focusing on right now. Christ and crypto. Ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom, it's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
你还有一个看了是不是？
那你要啥什么公告你可能这我这会把特斯拉不公告的，你这会看
我知道呀，我心里我知道的，我心里很清楚的，我心里很明白。
The ex-husband was somewhat upset upon hearing this, but considering the woman's terminal cancer, he called the elder daughter back. Upon hearing that her mother had cancer, the elder daughter was also very distressed. The two sisters immediately discussed what to do. Eventually, they came up with a good idea. Why not have their father remarry their mother? They were already planning to take care of him, and if their parents remarried, they could also take care of their mother. This was a clever idea, and the younger daughter was even ready to persuade her father. However, when the woman heard the suggestion, she showed hesitation.
他要说走就走，以后我们没有关系。他不是只要立个户口啊，俺这边还有个户口，他给我把这个户口注销了去，没办法，我不认。
你不认他？
我不认，我认他干嘛呀？
The woman then made a phone call.
So just to clarify, you know, the oldest daughter, it looks like they have maybe 3 daughters, and they just flipped out. They just freaking had it when the woman basically is like, yeah, I'm not gonna remarry him. Like, I want to be a part of this. In other words, she doesn't actually want the father, she doesn't actually want the husband. She just wants someone to rescue her from what she's done. Guys, this is what I've learned about women. Like, even women will do things even when it goes against their own well-being. It just shows the character of the individual. So, she says, "Dad, go cancel her household registration. We want to leave. We She wants to leave us. Then I can't do anything about it. I just won't acknowledge her as my mother." So yeah, the daughters realize that she's just trying to use them and take advantage of them. She doesn't actually care about them. She's never actually cared about them. This is what men have been going through for a long time, and now women are basically experiencing it for themselves. And this is a legacy of the boomers, 100%.
我不认，我认他干嘛呀？
The woman then made a phone call, talking for a long time with a strange man. At this point, the mediator quietly moved closer to overhear their conversation.
小孩反正有那么大了，我走了这么多年也就过去了，是不是？他认不认就算了，是不是？我就这么说。
I'll read that to you. He says, "The kids are already so big now. I've been away from them for so many years. If they want to recognize me as their mother, fine. If not, that's okay too." This is a horrible woman.
也就过去了，是不是？他认不认就算了，是不是？我就这么说。不是我心黑，是他们心黑。
I'm not heartless. It's them who are heartless. This person is terrible.
Later, the woman told the younger daughter that she had returned only to reconnect with her, hoping to find someone to care for her in her old age, but she would never remarry her ex-husband, because she now had another husband. At this point, the younger daughter once again broke down emotionally.
就不要在俺们手头撒盐了，你要是不打好好过日子行，对吧？
So she has another husband that she is in a relationship with, but the husband will not take care of her. So she's gone back to her original family, looking for her daughters to subsidize her living, and for the husband to subsidize her living, the ex-husband. But she does not actually. Guys, how low of character does a person have to be to do something like this? Unbelievable. And the daughter goes, "Please stop rubbing salt in our wounds. If you don't want to stay with us and live a good life, just leave." Oh my gosh.
对，你就走你得了，再也不要回来了。
其实在伤害他们了，既然回来了，他们
Never come back. Stop hurting the children again. Please, if you don't intend to stay, just leave and don't contact me again.
他不在这儿，你就不要跟我联系。你要说我接，你给我接联系去。你要是会好说点说，叫你。
We've tried our best to persuade you to stay in this house, but you still refuse. Then what is the purpose of your return this time? She probably wants some money.
在家，你怎么不在家呀？你来了一回走一回，来了一回走一回，你干嘛呢？这是。小时候那个记忆就是有记忆的，我怎么？
When I was little, I didn't understand, but now I do. How am I supposed to think about all this?
干嘛？他我说他年轻时候他哭。
You keep saying how difficult your life is, but what about ours all these years?
我就问他，我这10年我怎么过来的？你说你既然不打算那儿待着，你就不要回来。
If you don't want this family, don't come back. Don't add more painful memories to my mind.
就不要在我印象上加上这个那什么，加上这个记忆。
However, the woman firmly decided to return to Hunan and discuss the matter with her family before making a final decision. At this point, a neighbor from next door walked in to offer advice. As they were talking, the ex-husband who was standing nearby shed tears. Why had the ex-husband kept her household registration for 16 years after she ran away? Wasn't he waiting for her to come back? In the end, after the persuasion of those around her, the woman agreed to the request and even took a family photo. However, after returning to Hunan, she immediately turned her back on them. It was then that the mediator informed the ex-husband that the woman actually had a husband in Hunan, although that man was unreliable.
现在这个晚上没对他也不好，他因为他妈做了。
Her current husband is actually not good to her because she just had surgery, and this man spends every day flirting with other women.
他手术了吗？他还年轻吗？这是外面跟这个媒体聊，跟那个女的聊天，跟那个女的聊天，他回来了就嘎叽呀。
When he comes home, he argues with her and even puts hands upon her. Now your husband is still doing this. What are you going to do about it?
吵架了，吵一架就是打，都是说打啊，你怎么办呢？我直接给他。
I would rather let him put hands upon me. I am willing. This man is unreliable. Look at him. He doesn't even have a house. He hasn't given you a good family.
他打我就愿意，他不是受不住，你还是给女儿家也没有房子，人家给女儿没有个家，是不是啊？就是在外面也是打了好长时间个工了。
He's been working outside for many years and still hasn't saved a single penny. Moreover, this man loves gambling. He gambles heavily.
你身边没有一分钱，都是赌啊，都是打那个麻将啊，赌什么啊，赌到大，有一个月跟。
And then it says almost all of his monthly he spends almost all of his monthly salary on gambling, and he even drinks excessively. Wow.
这罚了就全部赌光了，就是在那喝酒赌。
The fact that the woman has cancer was also revealed by her current husband to the mediator. This man even insisted that the mediator help reconcile her with her ex-husband, as to him, this woman had become a burden. However, the woman had already developed Stockholm Syndrome, deeply in love with this gambling man. In the end, she asked her ex-husband for her daughters to take care of her in her old age, but naturally, this request was refused. Finally, the woman revealed the real reason she was unwilling to return. She was afraid that her ex-husband wouldn't forgive her for the harm she had caused him, so she dared not go back. It is pitiful for the two innocent daughters. The cancer the woman has is already very serious. She doesn't know she only has about 6 months left to live. In her final days, she still did not choose to give her daughters a complete family.
16 years of abandonment didn't lead to repentance, but rather to a selfish return. She once abandoned her family for the so-called better life, but returned after being diagnosed with cancer, only to ask her daughters to care for her.
She still loves, let me tell you something. The man that she loves, the man that she desires is hung low. All right? Hung low. Just, China's little poncho. All right? Don't cook, don't clean, doesn't like to work and gambles all the time. All right? The truth is that she loves that man. That's the man that she loves. That's the man that she desires. But he is not a man that is capable or willing to take care of her. And you know what's funny? If she had a good family, if she had people who cared about her, the fact that she is capable of still moving around physically, even though the doctors have only given her maybe 6 months, it's possible that this type of condition can actually be reversed. But modern women prioritize fun. Basically, the streets, the only thing they will ever focus on more so is the allure of the streets and the fun that the streets bring. And as a result, they will always choose things that can lead to their own. It could basically lead to pain and suffering for them. It could lead to loss of existence for them, and they will choose that over reality, over common sense, because the only thing that a woman is loyal to are her emotions.
In her old age, her daughters were abandoned when they were too young to remember, and now, facing their mother's return, all they could feel was anger and questions. Where were you when we needed you? Why should we be responsible for you now? Can blood ties make up for 16 years of absence? Can responsibility be awakened by a disease? In the end, she chose to leave and return to the man who had never treated her well, giving up the opportunity to mend their relationship. In the final days of her life, she still didn't give her daughters a complete family, choosing instead to run away. Some wounds can never be forgiven. Some choices must be borne for a lifetime. Her story ended, but what she left behind for her daughters was a lifetime of unhealable pain. This is not just a story about the mother-daughter relationship. It also profoundly reveals the cost of responsibility, betrayal, and selfishness. Can she ever earn her daughter's forgiveness? Does she deserve to be cared for by them? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comment section.
The reality is that she never cared. She never cared, and that's how most women operate. It's about me, 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 me. They never really care. Even towards the very end, she never actually cared. It was all about her. This is the reason why statistically children who are raised by single fathers have roughly the same, if not better, chances of never being incarcerated and getting a postgraduate education or a trade compared to children raised by single mothers. Because the fact is that men are more reasonable, rational, and men are the ones who build society. Men are the ones who create structure, and then our opposites are the ones who tear it down. What do you guys think regarding this? Women hit with hard times are begging men to help them, to save them, and to rescue them. But I'm telling you, in Western society, you're going to see this happening more and more. And as women who said, men, we would rather the bear over you, and now they're like, we don't want to go hang out with Yogi and Boo Boo. We want you to help us and rescue us from our poverty, destitution, hardship, and poor health. Men are just going to look at them and whisper no. A lot of you guys said that you're not going to say anything, you're just going to walk away. But MWA, men walking away. Let me know what you guys think about everything we discussed in this video, and let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.